Smoking them, y'all.
Good morning. I hope everybody out there is feeling good this morning. I know I am. Anytime I get ready to run these dogs, I feel a little extra going on. But anyway, let me tell you what I got going on this morning. As you can see, I got one dog this morning. This is my 11-month-old T-Bone. He shows really, really good potential. He can absolutely run a track. He does very, very well with a group of dogs. But today is the next phase of his learning. It is time for him to prove himself by himself. So we're going to get him out here and let him go and let him do it all by himself, not relying on any other dogs, and for the most part, not even relying on me, because I have a pet peeve, and that is if I have to go in the bushes and jump a rabbit when I have dogs out there. I don't need those dogs. So all of my dogs have to be able to hunt. That's number one. I've had those dogs that, you had to kind of coast along, take them out there and really talk to them, really amp them up to make them hunt. And it's nothing wrong with that dog. But at the end of the day, I prefer a dog that I can just lay back and he does absolutely everything by himself. So he shows all the potential to be a very good dog going forward. But I know to get the best out of him, he has to learn how to do everything. I run him in my fast group of dogs with my Fred dog and my pressure dog, my Annie dog, and those dogs are seasoned. Fred is still a young dog. He's still learning, but my Annie dog is a very experienced female, and when I take her out on those tough days, you can kind of tell, because experience is the key. You can really train a young dog. You can do all you're supposed to do, but nothing is better than time. Year after year of doing this really helps them in their overall ability to run a rabbit. So getting back to what we're going to do this morning, I'm going to drop him. I'm going to show you guys how he go out and hunt by himself. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to go talk to him or anything. It's just in him to know what he's doing to go and find a rabbit. So stay with me and let's see if he'll get on the rabbit. I'm in my 10-acre running pen this morning. This is just my puppy training environment. I like to keep them in here until I get comfortable with their abilities. And also the number one reason I run in here with young dogs is because I can control them. They're always all are not collar trained, obedience trained. So I want to have to be able to, get them in case I have to leave, or them not getting on any trash and end up losing a dog. So this is why I run young dogs in this pen, and it varies, from a month to 3 months, depending on how much I run. But when they leave here, I feel very, very confident when they go outside of this pen and run with a group of dogs or run by themselves. A deer is not an issue until they get out in the real world, and that's when that begins, the deer breaking process. So it's a bunch of different phases that you have to take young dogs through, and like I said, this is his next phase of learning, doing it by himself. Hang in there with me. Folks, he haven't said a word this morning. I see his tail switching pretty hard, but he has not opened up. That's the sign of a dog using his mouth the correct way. I'm sure he smelled rabbits, but they must have been there a while ago. A lot of dogs open up on those scents from last night, 3-4 hours old, but he doesn't do that. I've actually seen him do that all the way until he jumps one, and then it's on. These are all the things I look for in a young dog. And like I said, guys, I don't know if you have seen some of the other videos I've posted, but this is my 10-acre running pen. And to my knowledge, I only have 2 rabbits in here. For a while I had 3, but unfortunately I came in one day and saw a lot of hair spread around, so I'm thinking a hawk or owl must have gotten that one. So a dog really has to hunt. There's a lot of territory for 2 rabbits. It's quite a few times I come in here and don't jump anything. So it's just part of it. May not jump one today, but he's just showing me his ability to want to do it by himself, and that's all I ask right now. He's working hard. Folks, I've been out here for about 35 minutes, almost 40 minutes. We have not jumped a rabbit yet. He is hunting hard, but early morning can be rough sometime. You can definitely jump a rabbit much easier in the evening times. But we don't always try to make it easy for them. Put them in all the conditions. Like you smelled something there. Like I said, with only a couple of rabbits in here, a rabbit could be anywhere. I sometimes have 3 or 4, young dogs in here, and still come up empty some days. I just like to see desire. You don't always run rabbits when you're doing this. You just want to see the desire. Know that you got a dog that will hunt.
Gotta be out there in the bushes to jump a rabbit. He's smelling something right there. I know that little corner right there normally have a rabbit in it. I think one lives on one end of the pen and one lives pretty much midway on the other end. He's in a good spot right now. Let's save a little battery, cut it on if he hits.
"2 hours, no rabbit." Folks, this is the reality of it. This is what happens sometime. Of course, I would have loved to heard a race this morning. Would have been perfect. But at the end of the day, no cigar. And we're leaving right now because of Big Red. Big Red is the sun, for you guys that don't know out there. It's 8 o'clock and it's probably 80 degrees right now. It feels like it if it's not. But when you have these days like this, don't get discouraged. What I did learn is that I have a dog that will never quit. For those 2 hours, he hunted every second of it. So at the end of the day, I know I have a dog that has the desire to continue on. Even though there isn't much scent on the ground, he hadn't jumped a rabbit. He barked twice. And of course, I was hoping that that was a rabbit, and it could have been. But I obviously saw him tail wagging really strong at times. So I'm sure last night there was some rabbits in those locations. But the scent wasn't strong enough to really, pick it up, trail it, and drive it. He never did that. So, but again, just don't get discouraged with your young dogs. I'm sure I have some dogs that I could have put in here this morning that would have probably jumped a rabbit. But this is a learning process. But the thing that I took away is that he has what it takes to jump a rabbit. He's going looking and hunting and never giving up. So for you guys out there that's want a really good dog or want a really good pack of dogs, this is what it takes. You have to go through days like this, and then you'll start seeing it all come together. It'll be a consistent thing. The conditions are not the greatest. It's early morning. In my area in the mornings, it's very difficult for even older dogs to jump a rabbit. So it's not a shock. This happens all the time. I'm in my 10-acre running pen, and to my knowledge, I have only 2, possibly 3 rabbits in this whole 10 acres. So a dog really has to look and grind. I've been in here some days when I don't have anything to do. I'll sit in my tower for 2 or 3 hours before they actually jump. And that could have been the case this morning, if I had more time, but I have some things to do today. But again, he never gave up, and that's what I desire. I desire God have to have that ability not to give up. I've had some dogs that was really, really strong for the first hour, then they kind of fizzled out. When it comes to breeding dogs, I look for all those attributes, never giving up, not putting forth just minimum effort to find a rabbit. He really, really searched hard, but no cigar. So until next time, guys, hopefully we'll get some running on this next one. Hang in there. And for you guys going, as we progress over into the year, now it's summertime for me, and this is just not a time I get out here much. I'm just picking my times because of my snake issue in my area. But tell some guys out there, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell so you'll get those notifications when I put new stuff up. But we're going to try to cover every aspect of beagling, from training puppies to running dogs, to evaluating dogs, the whole 9 yards. So I just want to share some of the lessons that I learned, dealing with dogs for many, many years, that may make your journey a little bit easier. So until next time, hang in there with me.